Sizzle.
And you're listening to WPPM LP Philadelphia, and this is We Talk Weekly's After the Talk. And everybody knows one of my favorite segments of the show are the interviews. And why are they my favorite segment of the show? Why is it my favorite? It's because for the most part, right, 99% of the time, right, these are people with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And when you have a tremendous amount of respect for, a few people, some of them even become your best friends and some good friends. Now, I've been hosting and doing this for a long time, right? And me and this gentleman was just talking about, one of the first interviews I did with him with Three Guys Don't Lie. We go this week all the way.
That's a classic.
On South Street at the store, Studio 6, man. That was funny, man. But
how long ago was that, man?
It was more than about 10 years ago.
It's been over 10 years.
It's been over 10 years.
It's been over 10 years, man.
And we've been grinding ever since, man, and with reference to like this business, with reference to like this media, and just kind of like sharing and spreading the word, man. And so without further ado, I can't give this gentleman all the accolades that he has. We'll go through that with
we good.
With some of the stuff that he's done, and even the movie that he's doing right now, that he put out. But this gentleman deserves every bit of any accolade that he gets, man. Real good brother, straight shooter too. And we gonna have a dynamic conversation, man. Because I got some stuff to fuss at him about.
He got me on a hot spot right now. But
so without further ado, good friend of mine, Sabir Bey. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? You know what's funny, sis? The first time we did a sit down interview, it was in Philly in a clothing store. That's how crazy.
Wow.
Remember that? It was a clothing store that he was filming in. And I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Yeah, real talk.
And he said, I've been doing radio for 15 years in Philadelphia. But
awesome.
when we talk about, what how we did the first TV interview, that was crazy. It was dope. It was dope. I asked him for the tape, though.
Yeah.
I ain't had no hair on my head.
To see that.
Yeah,
You got to see it.
Find it,
He got
man.
Yo, that's classic, man. You got to
was,
pull it out.
It was. I got to
Yes.
try to find that thing,
and
man.
put it
But,
up, man.
it was on a platform that they took down, and they destroyed all the footage when they took everything down. You know what I mean?
Really?
But, yeah, man. I was so mad. I lost a lot of content because that was when I was working with the magazine, the fashion magazine, man. All of that footage is gone. You know what I mean? But it's all good, man. It's
We
all
here
good.
now.
We here now.
I kept promising him every time I come to Philly.
When you coming down, come to my show,
When
man.
you coming down. I just walked out. I told him I stopped doing interviews. That's what I did, telling you, though. But I said,
we getting exclusive today.
but I said I'm a Philly guy, though. I'm a Philly born and raised guy, man. So we gotta look out. That's how we do.
Let me tell you, this brother was in L.A. and let's talk a little bit about Texas, man.
Texas,
because I think you was doing there. You was giving out some water, and you was doing
you
some
talking
stuff
about
during the flood,
when the
man.
flood
and I
was
thought
going
that was really dope. So let's talk a little bit about that. Yeah, I know it's crazy. I seen the footage.
I got caught in that flood. I was supposed to be going to Miami. I couldn't even go to Miami because the flights was canceled.
Oh my goodness.
So what I did, I stayed in Houston and just helped out with the water, with the food, with some of the cleaning up, stuff like that before I went back to LA. Because I stayed there and I went straight back to LA. I supposed to went to Miami, then back to LA. Right. So I stayed in Houston and helped clean up.
Well, at least you stayed there and you made some.
Yeah, the creator, he does things for a reason. So I had to stay there. I'm tired, y'all. So y'all gotta, I got the, the shades. Sister was like, "Samir, why you ain't go back to the hotel and go to sleep?" I said, when I hit Philly, I got to hit everything and everybody, my family, my sons, everybody have to see, man.
Yeah.
But, I just left Houston again, and I was building with a homeless person when I was there recently, too. You learn a lot from the homeless people, too.
Oh, yeah. They have a story to tell.
They got
Untold.
Man,
Yes.
Uncut.
They still have stories to tell. And I'm going to tell you, this guy, he reached out. He said, you somebody, you do something. You're a philosopher. And I'm like, how do you know that? Like, out of all these people that's walking past, how did you know? But I stayed out there talking to him for a while. But that's that's what it is. But the Houston thing, it was good. It was cool. Everything. It wasn't as bad as what people say it was.
Really?
Oh no, dude.
I saw some pictures of trucks pulling things out of water, pulling other trucks.
It was in certain parts. It was, but you were looking at when they broke the levees.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Oh.
See, y'all,
The
people,
media,
when
they show you what they want you to see.
so that's how the media plays. So was when they broke the levees, is when the water came through. It wasn't just the rain itself, you know. So
Wow.
we heard what was going to happen before. I think it was 2 days beforehand.
Right.
We heard that they was going to, you know, release the levees.
Right.
And the people that's not there, they be like, "Oh my God, it's flooded." Nah, they broke the levees, people.
Wow. I know
Wow.
That's what went down.
It sounds very close to something before,
Yes.
right?
Well, it happened down Louisiana.
Yeah. that's
Same
what I
thing.
mean.
Same thing. I mean, you gotta understand the level. Yo, I went to Louisiana, Jack. That bridge ain't no joke. That bridge is no joke going across, man, at all, man. But it's good. I'm on my way back there anyway. Next week.
Right, okay.
So.
Okay, no doubt. Let's start. So let me fuss at you a little bit.
Oh my God, here we go. You know, this is not even a script, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie to you. 'Cause I don't even, it was a subject that he wanted to bring up, but I don't want to touch the subject. But he could talk around it. I do know how to talk around the subject matter. But
well, we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Yeah,
but I'm
okay.
gonna fuss at you a little bit because I seen your little post that you posted after I did. So I did this live, and I'm talking about the topic we were talking about. You know, H&M, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going in on H&M like right? And so my brother, right, from another mother, right? So he does a video. Yeah, I don't know why they mad and these people about H&M and all this. No, listen, let me tell you something. The people have a right to be upset. Now, when you talk about...
You know what he's talking about.
Now, when you talk about people who have the knowledge and the understanding and the money behind being strategic with the moves that they make, they know exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
And when you know... Especially you, who's a historian. Now, this brother's a historian. He knows everything.
I'm a researcher, and I just don't jump at everything either.
Yeah.
Go ahead, finish your
thoughts.
and
I'm finishing my thoughts, right? And so when you talk about, people who have a budget to be cultural competent, right? Who has a budget to research and has a budget to understand what's going on in the world. You're knowledgeable enough to say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't make certain things, especially that's going to target a certain demographic. And so for people who have that type of understanding, right, then you have the other people who's conscious enough to be like, yo, they were dead wrong and they need to be called out on it. And if I choose as a person to not, purchase or buy any of their closed, then that's the decision that they're going to make. Now, that said, I do get that we supposed to be understanding enough to say, that shouldn't bother us. That's something small. But I believe, and then I'll end with this. I believe that it's not small in the grand scheme of things because it doesn't just affect one person, not even just a little boy. It affects a masses of people, right? And I'll stop right there, and then you can retort, and I'll go from there, my brother.
Okay, well, first of all, I don't believe anything. The difference is believing and knowing what they're doing.
Right.
Believing means you dependent on someone else.
Right.
But the thing is, like, when you're looking at, and I don't jump on everything. I ran down and I gave the storyline about Walmart. I gave the storyline about the football game for a reason.
Right.
And I said, I don't watch football. I said I've been boycotted football. I never watched football. I'm not a football sports dude like that, even though I used to box, but I'm not a fan of it.
Right.
But we jump on everything when the media puts it out there. I said, and I also said in my video about people wearing suit and ties. When you wearing a tie on your neck, I said that's a noose. Right. Let's be real. I'm running things down. I'm like, why are we jumping after a clothing line? And I always say, I don't know what kind of radio show we on, but I say the cheapest thing you can buy is an end and a stick of gum. I said that also, and I see it all day long. I'm watching it in Philadelphia. I'm coming to Philly, watching grown black people call themselves minority and allowing someone else to call you a minority when you're not a minority. If you studied law, and you will find out what a minority is. So why do you have black people on radio, TV talking about you a minority? Why do we have attorneys and politicians running around talking about police brutality when brutality does not exist in law? I'm not in law like that, but I know that there is no term called brutality. It's a term called terrorism. When a cop shoot a brother 50 times. So I'm mad at that type of stuff that we can fix.
Right.
So we're talking about voting. You worrying about what somebody have on. That's the parents' fault. When you watch everything that the adults are doing, what we are doing, the children are watching. So they're imitating. I lived in California for 9 years, and I have not participated in anything in Hollywood like that, even though I just did a film with Hawthorne James.
Right.
But I pick and choose what I want. I'm grown. Now, what I would do with that, I'll come back to my sons. I'll come back to my family and say, this is how you do this, and this. No, this is not how you go as an adult, right? So now the adult, the parent should have said no. And then again, what I had to think about it for a minute. I said, what I would do that? Yeah, I probably would do that. You know, one thing I've learned when I used to be on the road with KRS-One, he used to say, they wanted him to do a alcohol commercial one time. He came to me, he said, you know you can't stop people from drinking. I said, yeah. He said, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you to drink responsibly. I said, damn, that's good. And still get the money. I said, that's smart. Now think about what I just said. If we stop focusing just on their clothing lines, again, and even the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you don't have to condemn a dirty glass of water, set a clean one up. So if you got something, then you put yours up with his and let the people choose it. That's how you do things. You don't jump on every bandwagon, because by next week, best believe this is going to be gone. It's the same thing with the football, the same way with the shootings. All this stuff, it's gone. We forgot about it. And who's responsible for this?
Right.
It is the adults. It is your politicians. It's your city council members. And even coming here, my energy level dropped. And I'm like, y'all still going for the same old thing? This is my home. Y'all still allowing these black leaders to do what they're doing? And that's why I commend that DA. I was clapping when I heard that. I was like, oh, they getting it in wake-up call.
Yeah, I know.
All of them. Because they did everybody dirty.
Yeah.
So it takes, and I had to research him. He's a Russian.
Christ, yeah.
He's a Russian dude. So I was happy.
Yeah.
So come on, man. Like, I'm not focusing just on his shirt. You know what I mean? We have bigger issues to be dealing with, man.
Agree.
Bigger issue to be dealing with a shirt. And that's why I said I don't go attack what everybody else want me to attack. Because I get emails, inboxes, yo, you should talk about this. No, I'm good. Yeah. Let them talk about it. We all right. I'm just going to show you how to make sense out of what's going on.
Facts.
You know, and then before we even do this, if you study what a monkey was, and if you study what a troglodyte is, a troglodyte is not us, it's those Europeans. So you reverse the tables on them. Don't get mad. That's what you do. Yeah.
That's facts. I can. Okay.
So I wasn't against your video.
No, I know.
It's just
I'm just messing with you. You know, you my man, so I get it. So okay, I get it. I understand the side. They still got to get grilled though. They still got to get grinded up. So,
no doubt. Everybody, even your own people, got to get grinded up and grilled.
Yep.
I mean, we say hold people accountable.
Yeah.
Hold them accountable. You know what's funny? How could you hold someone accountable when you don't know what they're supposed to do? Think about it.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Could you hold anyone accountable when you don't even know what they're supposed to do?
How about that? Yeah.
And they say ignorance of the law is no excuse. But how many of our people really know the law? Think about it for a minute.
I would contend only about 1% of the people actually know the law. You know?
And what is the law?
Yeah.
There
we go.
And this
That's
is
the question.
And this is the funny thing is, what is the, you know, you hear these terms like the law of the land. Right. What is the law of the land? It is plain and simple. And this is for your listening audience. What is and I'm asking you and I'm asking sis.
Right.
What is the law of the land?
I can't even answer.
Well, maybe you should cast some call-ins sometimes and actually ask these attorneys. Like, you should set something up with attorneys at this station, brother. You really should. While I'm in Philly, I'll be here for a week. Okay. And you should really have a panel discussion with them. That's what you should do. If you want to make a mark, bro, in Philly, that's what you should be focusing. You should actually put a panel together like that, and I will fly in whatever and make it happen. You know, I'm with you.
Yeah, no doubt.
But the law of the land is due process. Is that plain and simple, y'all?
No doubt. All right, so I'm gonna jump on. Let's jump on the movie and media genre, right? Before we get to the other cats, because that'll be a good transition, right?
Okay.
And so you was in Hidden Colors.
Hidden Colors. Hidden Colors. I did more movies than that though. I hit Hidden Colors. I did one called the Nasheed Council for Hip Hop. I did one on Noble Drew Ali. I produced both of them. And I also produced this one, Out of Darkness, also, which is directed by Amadeus Christ, which we actually in Philly now filming part 2.
Oh, good.
And also Abandoned Act with Hawthorne James. You know him as Big Red from 5 Heartbeats.
Oh yeah, Big Red. Okay.
So he brought me on as a writer.
And dangle you over the.
Yo, I mean, that dude is no. I liked him, but you know, we was filming in L.A. Every time he stomped or did something, he had me jumping. I said, wait a minute. We took the tape like 6 times. I'm like, funny. And every time he would hit this table and I would jump, I'd be like, wait a minute, man, this is acting, like, you know. But he gets you in that mood, and it was beautiful working with this brother. It was beautiful working with him. And the film, he brought me in as a writer, and I changed the whole script almost. It was it was supposed to have been about a brother going to jail, which named Daryl, which Hawthorne was playing, and actually the brother from New Edition story that played Curtis Blow is in there too, Melvin Jackson Jr. Yeah, Melvin's in there also. So when the script was sent to me, I read it. It took me like 3 or 4 days to read it, and I gave it back to him and the sister, which is the director, Molly. I was like, yo, let's change this around, because it was supposed to have been the Bible he was reading in jail. And I said, that's too cliche. But Hawthorne wanted me to come on as a writer to actually bring some authenticity to it. He said, no, I want you to bring some realness to it. So, you know, she said, yo, I got a couple dollars. I can pay you to write this out, you know, put your heart into it. And it really wasn't nothing. It was about 14 pages. It's a short. And I said, yo, let's take out the Bible, because everybody goes to jail and they read the Bible. Everybody knows that. First thing, you know what I mean? First thing, right? And or
the Quran,
well, Bible, really. You know, I tell people a lot, Christians go to jail. You come out a Muslim. You go into Christian, real come talk. Out of jail, Muslim.
Real talk,
But when I told him to take that out, we added the Alchemist book in there. We added the a law dictionary in there.
Black's Law.
Yeah, and there was a article that I got from Washington D.C. about the Moors and what happened in the scene. It was funny how I was thrown into the scene, because it was like an improv. He's like, no, I want Sabir to sit here and talk to me like we having a conversation. Wow. So I'm showing him articles, and in the scene he says I had to come to jail to get educated by a young guy. So about his history. So that's how we, basically came together with it. And his daughter was supposed to be homeless. That's the storyline. His daughter was homeless. He was in jail since he was young off of crack and heroin. Her mother passed away. So in the scenes, you'll see me coming out, giving her the money, that he gave me to give to her, so she won't be homeless. He'd rather be homeless himself. So it's the whole storyline was so dope. Like the way it was written out, and like we bouncing back and forth, switching things in the script. But it was pretty good. But it's a short. We're gonna do a feature eventually, a little longer than that. But it was dope.
Yeah. So with that, what's the one thing that, because you have you're so knowledgeable on so many different like levels, and with all of the movies that you take part in, you educate them more specifically about who you really are, right? What's the one thing you want them to take from your new movie, your new project?
Know your purpose, man. Like even in the films that we do, Out of Darkness, it's knowing your purpose. And I always say this: if you don't know what your purpose in life is, someone is going to put you to work because they know what their purpose is. Know your purpose in life. Like I watch Greg, and I watch what he does. He's doing his purpose. Rather, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at you. I'm watching you. You may not see me, but I'm watching you. And that's what this industry does. And I, like I said, I watch him move. I watch with the clothing. I watch what he does with Kendrick. And I'm like, okay. And it's funny when people watch you. I was with Eddie Griffin one day, because I'm always actually with them this weekend.
All the time. That's
I was at his house. Yeah, he always give me advice, man. And he said, oh, Sabir, you'd be surprised who's watching you and seeing if you're consistent on what you're doing. And he said, Sabir, sell your content. He said, that's one thing that you have that most people don't have is content. You can talk about a pair of sneakers and have content. This is how crazy you are. So you never know who's watching you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, I watch him. I can vouch for what he's doing. Even though we may not talk all the time. But I'm saying, okay, I'm watching what he's doing. He's going to the stores. Okay, he's picking out the shoes, I'm like, man, this dude can do good in L.A. I'm like, literally, I'm watching. So now what would that do? I'm going to say, okay, yo, I got somebody for you.
Right.
Let me make the phone call. You see what I'm saying? Because someone is always watching, knowing your purpose.
Right.
Because if you don't know what your purpose is, someone's going to put you to work for their purpose.
Yeah. And you know what? I appreciate you. You've been supporting me, a supporter of mine for a long time, and that's why I highly appreciate you and respect you, my brother. Now we're going to now it's time to transition into that hard question, man. Those hard questions.
Oh my gosh, man!
Now you was in hidden colors.
Let me see if I'm going to deal. I don't know if I want to deal with that, but
you know. And so, Dr. UmarJohnson was in hidden colors. So was Tyriq Nasheed.
Good brothers.
Good brothers.
I find the good in everybody, man.
There you go. They're feuding right now, and it's really a heated, huge, dynamic part of culture right now.
Well, one thing was told to me by quite a few elders that is not the conscious community. And this is and I can name my elders who told me, Phil Valentine, Dr. Kaba, James Small. I speak with them frequently, and that is not the conscious community. Like I said, I find the good in everybody.
Right.
But everybody's true colors will eventually come out. Right. But like, again, I'm not going to, take either side of it. Right. But like I said, I'll find the good because both of those brothers have something to offer. You see what I'm saying? Right. And you would never get Sabir Bey to be in the middle of it and saying, okay, well, Sabir is against this person now. Right. And this is the same trick that the man is using anyway. So what happens if they could see me argue
divide and conquer,
divide and conquer, the art of war is real. Yeah. If I can get Sabir to go against this particular person, now we can arm this one with this and and have it going back and forth. And the world is watching this, and I sat on the phone with Professor James Smalls and we get phone calls from people from UK, from Africa asking us what's going on. And I'm my key was answer machine, voicemail. Means I have nothing to say, So like I said, always find the good in everybody. That's just my motto, man. And hopefully we can resolve that, man. Honestly, hopefully, and I said this on many videos. I said I hope the brothers take them down because those videos are floating around everywhere. Man.
I'm sure they was ripped off, right? In fact, I seen a couple.
It's going to be a reality show soon about. I bet you.
How about that? So let's. So when you talk about, because I want people to understand when you talk about conscious community, what's actually defined as conscious, because those, especially Dr. UmarJohnson, is probably the poster child of what you considered conscious, what people on a face think of what the conscious community is supposed to represent.
My thing is like, and these are the words of Dr. Kaba. Dr. Kaba said, "Are you conscious of your consciousness? If you're conscious of your consciousness, certain things you don't feed into." You follow me? You don't feed. You let it go. When people come at Sabir, I'm here now in Philadelphia. I'll say, listen, you can call me. Here I'm walking down the street. You can pick up the phone. That's what real men do. We talk. Yep. I'm really from Philly. Yep. I'm a street dude from Philly. I'm like, we don't, we don't sit back and do certain things. So we make phone calls or we we settle our differences. This is how it was, and sometimes you have to hold people responsible. Again, you have to hold people responsible. I can name a many of conscious people, my brother Tariq Bey, elder. This is one right here, his son. You have Dr. Kaba, you have James Smart, you have Phil Valentine, you have all these brothers who are very conscious of their kind. You don't see them. Minister Farrakhan. How many times you ain't never see the minister get upset with anybody? Ever. No matter how many times you come at, he never went back and forth with you. But sometimes you can let people talk to tell how they really are. Yes. That's why I never get involved. Obviously, go ahead, keep talking. You see what I'm saying?
So how do you think we can, what do you think the solution would be, or what do you think would fix, I hate to use the word fix, but what do you think would remedy that situation between the two?
Make phone calls, because everybody has everybody's number. Right. I'm gonna be real with you, dude. Everybody has my number. Everybody that's involved in whatever have my number. My number been the same phone number for the past 16 years. True. It never changed. It's still there. Everybody has everybody's number. Honestly, man, I've been in radio before there was an internet, before there was a YouTube and a Facebook and all this other stuff, right? This internet, this Facebook, this YouTube has caused more breakup in relationships, damages, the whole nine yards. If you just look at it, if you don't understand, KRS One used to have a saying, what would you do without technology? How would you use technology? How do you use your tools? This is a tool that you use. and it goes everywhere now.
Right.
So again, if I'm sitting here and I'm saying, okay, I know what I'm gonna say. I got to be very careful, think about it for a minute, because people like to do sound bites, because people listen to it everywhere.
Absolutely.
Everywhere. So, and you can't take this back. Nope. How many dudes got locked up for getting on stuff saying, yo, I'm gonna pop you? Yes. How many dudes listen, there was a dude in Chicago when I was there bragging, literally. He was having a camera. I'm on the south side, and I was on the south side of Chicago. I be in the high numbers. So he's on the south side, had a camera. Yeah, I'm on the south side of Chicago. And the dudes rolled past and started busting on him live. You heard about it?
Yeah.
Busting on him live.
Wow.
And killed that boy.
Yep.
So what I'm saying to you, that this thing right here is real.
Yeah.
And they're listening 24/7 to this information.
Mm-hmm.
This man, he don't take a day off at all. Mm-hmm. He's saying, look, we going to let it ride. The one thing I can tell you about the feds and what they do, they watch you for 10 years. 10 years they watch you. Wow. So they're going to accumulate everything on you. Yeah. And they're going to say, now we can make this one go against this one. Right. If you never studied the past of what Malcolm and Elijah went through, and when Malcolm started talking to the feds, when the feds was trying to get something on Elijah Muhammad, and Malcolm said that you be insulting my intelligence not to know what I'm going to say in advance to try to get anything from me on the honorable Elijah Muhammad. That, look at what he did back then, before we were born. This was going on. But look at what we have now with this social media. And what is happening and what we're doing right now. This man, he has nothing to worry about with us. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. And this is why you can't, get me on a social media realm to make me go against any of my brothers.
I know that's right.
It's not going to happen. Rather they come at me or not. Just like the minister. You can come at the minister all day long. We just going to take it and smile and keep it moving.
See, and that's the thing that really frustrated me about this feud and this argument that they having. Because some things I always believed, man. You keep some things in the house. Keep it in the house, man. You put it, just like you said, you put this out in the universe now, and everybody can feed off of it. Yep, cyberspace.
And this, it's like honestly, it's crazy to me, because as I watch this, it reminds me of when the Moors and the Pan Africans or whatever, RBGs was going at it with each other. I remember that, and I remember being in Skyline Studios with KRS-One and Kenny Parker, and actually Busy B was there. And KRS-One reached out to me and said, Sabir, you got to be the olive branch, brother. You got to bridge that gap. You got to stop this before it become an East Coast, West Coast beef, because it don't necessarily have to be, even though, to me personally, like, real gangsters don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, real talk.
I'm being real. But you may have someone who follows you so much. You see, because for me, it was people from my hood asking me, what's up? What's up? Who we need to see? My nephews asking me, what's up? So I'm sitting here saying, no, man, don't get involved. I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
But you may have people who are following you that wants to do something. Yep. Or you may have people who because regardless, my brother Chris said both of those brothers have people who follow them.
Yeah.
So what happens, you may have diehard people.
Yeah.
So those diehard people and his diehard people, you may be somewhere and they say, X, Y, and Z and can't handle it. And they wind up doing what? Hurting each other.
Yeah, real talk.
And somebody's going to jail. That's at the end of the day.
Right.
Someone's going to jail and someone's telling. That's real talk.
Yeah. And somebody's going to be made an example of.
Exactly. And it's going to point right back to who? The top people. So this is why I don't get caught up in that.
Fantastic. My brother, we only got about 3 minutes left, man. I want you to give one last thought to somebody, to the people that's watching right now, and let them know how they can contact you and some of the things that you got going on right now.
Well, this weekend we're doing a Q&A because we're working on Out of Darkness Part 2 to this. We shooting this week. We shooting in New York. We'll be at Nicholas Bookstore this Sunday, January the 14th, at Nicholas Bookstore doing a Q&A on Out of Darkness. It's actually, the lecture is called Out of the Dark into the Light. So we have Professor James Smalls that we coming through. Tariq Bey will be there, which is in the film. Everybody's in the film. And that's what I love about it, man. Because it's not about me, even though I'm the producer. It's like you bring the people in.
Right.
Like when you're doing film, you bring the the casting. It ain't just about the director or the producer.
Right.
It's the cast also. So that's why I'm bringing the cast in and let them talk also. So that's one thing that we're doing on Sunday in Brooklyn. And but this Friday I'm with the Comedy Get Down with my brothers, Eddie Griffin, DL Hughley, Cedric, and George Lopez. If you never seen the Comedy Get Down, brother, y'all gotta see it.
That's big. We got
so that's I'm gonna be there. So I'm already there. So we just did Austin, but you gotta see that show. And that's one thing. Even being with those brothers, I've learned there's no egos, and that's what Eddie Griffin said when we was all in the room. We're family. No one's better than the other person, man. So that's just what that is, man. But far as reaching me, I'm on Facebook, Sabir Bey, SABIRBEY. I'm on Instagram, Real Sabir Bey. Let me spell my name because some people get it twisted. He put the B-A. It's not B-A, it's B-E. SABIRBEY. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel, Sabir Bey. Very simple. Malcolm said make it plain. Don't make it complicated. Make it very plain. But that's about it, man.
Fantastic.
That's about it, brother. And thank you. And thank the sister, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming to the show, my brother. Finally, we got you here, man, and we got some exclusive stuff too.
I'll be here, man, for a week, bro. We can do this again, man.
Absolutely.
I love this setup though, man. This is
what we do, man. It's We Talk Weekly.
Oh, that's what's up. I'm here, man. Just let me know, bro. I'm back. Like, we can talk about some other stuff.
No doubt. So this your boy Charles Greg with the beautiful
LaurenSizzle,
and we got my man, my friend, my homie, my brother, my people. This is my people, especially from around the way, and I appreciate that. Salam, my brother.
The Philly, homie.
All day.
The John.
The John. You already know, man. So, yeah, we see you on the other side. Holla.